Born as miners, you love mining materials and turn them into beautiful items. But you must also defend your place from intruders along with your tribe. This is Dwarf.
In this video, we'll show you a quick how to play for this game to give you a flavour for how it plays. Coming up. Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University, where you can find a lot of how to play, live playthrough videos and more.
So if you're new here, please consider subscribing and hit the bell to be notified of when we post new videos.
Now let's get to the table.
Dwarf is a worker placement game in which bands of dwarfs compete in the fields of mining and manufacturing. It was designed by Lee Broderick and published by Dragon Dawn Productions. The game plays 1 to 3 players in 15 to 20 minutes and can be expanded to up to 5 players with a second copy. The game is of light to medium complexity. In Dwarf, players are bands of dwarves trying to establish a mining operation. They can mine for gold, mine for iron, which they will then alloy into steel, or forge any of those 3 metals into powerful items. Collectively, players also need to defend the mine from invading monsters trying to disrupt their operations. At the end of the game, players need to be well balanced. Players will compare majorities in gold, steel and items, and whoever holds the most majorities wins the game. At any time, the mountain is a 3x3 grid of mountain cards showing the different mining actions. Each round, 2 new cards are drawn to keep the mountain changing. Then comes the worker placement, and in a snake draft order, players have 2 workers each to choose their different actions that they'll be taking during the round. These are resolved after all of the workers have been placed. Most spaces are either mining, where you can gain or refine metals, or forging, where you can turn metals into items. Players may also spend a worker to gain 2 extra workers for the round, who are placed at the end, effectively gaining an extra action at the cost of having a poorer choice of action spaces. Many mountain cards show monsters who attack the entire mountain, and herein lies a semi-cooperative element of the game. If nobody sends a worker to defend against the monster, then there is a penalty suffered by all players who are in a position to suffer it, such as the loss of resources, or a certain type of action space not being resolved in this round. If someone does send a worker, then the collective penalty is not suffered and the heroic defender earns a medal. Now, medals are okay, but they're certainly not as good as resources, and so players need to decide whether fighting the monsters benefits themselves or their opponents more in a certain situation. The last option is that a player can spend both workers, or 1 worker and 4 medals, to activate one of the 3 available special actions. These resolve immediately rather than after all the worker placements and can be powerful game breakers if timed well. The game ends at the end of the round in which one player has crafted a 4th item, or if the mountain deck is empty. Then players compare majorities in items, gold and steel, and the player with the most majorities wins. If tied, then the first tiebreaker is majority in medals, a final reward for defending the mountain. Dwarf is a small box, quick playing game which still offers interesting tactical decisions. Players need to pivot their strategies based on the monsters and cards that turn up and the resources that they hold at any given time. It is not a complex game, but the monster fighting element and the fact that scoring is based on majorities rather than cumulative points leads to strong player interaction. The game plays up to 3 players, or with a second copy of the game, up to 5 players with 2 side-by-side mountains. The game also has 3 difficulties of solo mode. The Automa plays a full game, resolving actions as you would, with these positioning icons on the cards telling you where to place the automa's workers. And that's our quick how to play of Dwarf. Hope you enjoyed this video.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to us. You can do that by hitting the Meeple in the corner, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be one of the first to know when we have new and exciting videos. You can also follow me on Instagram for my board games journey.
And finally, if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please write them in the comments section below.
Bye!